Merry Christmas! So if you're wondering, I am not at home. I am across the road at Mom's house. So this is the house I grew up in. Mom moved here in 1988. She switched houses with Grandma and Grandpa, which is the house I live in now. Her and Dad moved here, and this is where I had lived ever since. So we are in the family room. We're drinking coffee. We're in our cozy clothes because today's a Christmas day. We're putting up, if you got my holiday magazine, you saw Mom's dining room tree already. That's the tree on the cover. This is a more kind of cozy, homey tree, and we use the things that Mom kind of got me started collecting, which is Shiny Brite ornaments. So we have a lot of ornaments in front of us, and a lot of these, I think I probably, but you like them too. We started collecting, for this tree specifically, a lot of the striped Shiny Brites. Now you can find all sorts of Shiny Brite ornaments. They're not always striped, but I think it's really fun to zone in on one style and try to amass them over time. So when you put together a tree, they look really cohesive. So some down here are a mixture of some we'll use, some we won't. I kind of got the collecting bug from Mom. I earned it, honestly.
Yeah, and now we're trying to find the big ones, which are kind of...
They're harder
to find. And this one you'll see is really old because it doesn't have a metal top on it.
Well, yeah, during the war, they didn't have metal tops. Now, that one could have been also someone's homemade way of, you never know for sure. That one, that might be an original paper top. During the war, there were paper tops because they were rationing. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of take you through with Mom. Just the decorating process, just a casual us decorating, but also show you kind of what the process is. Now, the one thing I think is somewhat important when you're mixing only vintage ornaments, I like to mix in just a few things that are maybe newer to tie it all together. So in this instance, we're using two things. We're using these kind of nostalgic looking, almost Grandma Moses-esque painted ornaments. There's a set of them that we'll put on the tree. And then we have some, they look vintage, but they're brand new style houses, little putz style houses that we're gonna hang on the tree. And these two things to me give a nice backdrop and a good base layer for us then to layer on all of these beautiful ornaments, which you can see color-wise go really well.
Right, and kind of don't we always kind of stick these in toward the inside, fill in the big spots with them?
I always like to start with the bigger things first. So we're using this tree, and this year I put it in instead of a wash tub. We had a little bit of a right before we started this. I couldn't find the wash tub that fit the stand. We just like to set the whole thing down in. So I found an old soda bottle box from a local town that we had. Mom buys unique, fun things too, not knowing what she's gonna do with them. You probably never knew this was gonna be a tree.
No, well, I thought of it as a wood box.
Well, it is a wood box. Oh, you mean like a wood, like to burn?
No, well, like firewood, yeah. But I don't have that type of place.
Right, she has a gas fireplace, not a wood fireplace.
So I was like, but I thought it was a neat box.
It is, and what we always like, we used to do tree skirts all the time, which is fun, but lately it's kind of nice, we don't usually put presents under the tree until right before Christmas, so it's nice to have something that just kind of looks a little bit more, I don't know, put together, clean. We have the big kettle in the dining room. This in here is just kind of nice. So you can see this is a nice open tree. It's a faux tree. You've had a few years, 2-3 years. And I like it because you can stick some nice big size things in it. So we did go through and fluff it first, but you're gonna see it still has those open branches, which I like. Because we're gonna now start, we're gonna take a couple of these. We're gonna put all the big ones on first, then go to the houses, and then just adorn it with all the Shiny Brites. So we were just discussing where the last couple need to go, which, yes, you have. Mom was just saying how you have to kind of step back and look and make sure they're sitting right. Now, some of these, the point of them is to be a little wonky as they hang, which I like. They're off-center, almost asymmetrical, which is fun. But I think Mom gets this from where I get it from, which is from
great grandma?
Just grandma.
Grandma. Yeah.
Your mom was grandma.
Oh my word. She spent hours decorating her tree and rearranging and making sure. I kind of wish we'd have kept her tree. It
was a special tree.
It was special to her. Like if I had a little doll from when I was little, these little peewee dolls, it was on the tree.
Everything was like mismatched in a perfectly matching way. I don't know how to say it otherwise.
Little teddy bears would be, and she loved intricate detailed, and the faces had to be, do you remember that? If she wouldn't buy an ornament if she didn't like the eyes or...
Right.
Yeah.
It had to have a pretty face. It had to have, and the way it sat on the tree, she would sit with like sometimes a week or more and just be
rearranging.
Just little bits here and there.
And if you'd be in a store and she'd be looking at ornaments, like if there were 3 ornaments all the same, oh my word.
Yeah.
We'd spend an hour deciding which one had the nicest face. It was like...
Well, and the funny thing is, it was, I remember later on, I thought, well, maybe Grandma wants help. Maybe it's getting a lot for her. Because she put up a whole full-size tree. And so I would offer to go help her.
No.
She didn't really want help. She let me help put lights on because it was a branch by branch light weaving tree.
Or she let you help put the tree up because hers, it was
right. It was like each one, and it took a long time. But once it got to the ornaments, she'd always be like, I'm good now, Caleb. Like I can do this because she enjoyed that. And
and she just was fussy.
I've always admired though how much she enjoyed and wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to start focusing on the Shiny Brites, which if you don't know, Shiny Brite is a brand, and you can still buy now new reproduction Shiny Brites. They're still the Shiny Brite company, but they're made. And here's another good example of a paper top with the original paper. You can see it has this perfect shape of just like the metal one would, except this top actually is too big. It's not the correct one, but it works. And you can see a good Shiny Brite should say on it Shiny Brite, which it's very small lettering. It will say Made in USA Shiny Brite.
And if people have old ones, and they will break, they will break. Yeah. Save the top.
Yeah, that's probably what we did here was one
broke. And I probably have a small one somewhere that
I personally love finding the unique colors too, like yellow. It's just
fun.
This
one, this clear glass.
I love the clear ones. They are really pretty. So usually what we try to do, like Mom was saying, put a little bit smaller ones maybe out towards the front, a little bit bigger one kind of farther in. And that's why I like, each new tree is going to be different when they're faux like this. But what's nice is this one really kind of place a lot of ornaments on it because there's a lot of open branching to do that. So you can fill it up in your own way. This is just kind of, to me, one of those things where you kind of just have to sit back and have fun. When we were growing up, the tree we always had in here was, for the longest time, just all the ornaments we had made, like at school.
Macaroni ornaments.
Until they got brittle and just fell apart.
Or the bugs got.
Or we had great grandmas on my other side. She would hand crochet.
Oh, the crochet.
Snowflakes.
Those are cool.
Those are cool. And we still put those on something different, but not on this tree. So we would have a memento tree, but now.
Do we have hooks?
Some of the hooks we might have to take off of other ones that we're not going to put on. I always think I love this one too. I know, I'm just going on and on about all the ones I love, like all these. So we're gonna keep putting some of these on. We won't bore you with too much of it, but you can see we kind of pick and choose. I will not be doing some of these that I love. Some of these I might just put in a bowl or something this year because they're not the striped, and I kind of want to stick to that and see how many of those we can put on here.
Every year sometimes we have a few and we say, let's get rid of these.
Every so often we edit. Edit's important. I say that with every tree.
I would probably edit.
Oh really? No, I like that one.
Oh, he likes that one. Okay.
So then we end up getting rid of none.
But they are really fun to use in just a bowl too, you're right. Or an antique big glass jar.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Okay, you're catching me with sometimes when I do multiple. Do you ever do that?
Stick them in my mouth.
I'll hang one here on my lip as I'm going.
Or I take a finger and I hang like a hot.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's kind of weird, but it's these things you do at home and don't think about someone else seeing. So you can see we're kind of getting towards where I think we're going to be done. I like that. So a few years ago when I wanted to do this, we didn't have quite enough of the striped, but we're slowly getting to be where you can really see a lot of them. Do you like how it looks, Mom?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I like that it really showcases a lot of the ornaments themselves. Now, we could keep as we collect more, and you could jam more of these other type in. I just think it's kind of fun to focus on this style, which is to me really fun from the 40s and 50s. I just think the stripes are so fun. And then it's fun because every year, since we both collect, everything, but different things, this is what we're always looking for. We always have certain places we go around Christmas that have open houses or, antique places. And these are the types of things we look and might get one or two, kind of some fun things like that. So I did at the top put up a vintage star. It's kind of similar to one I have also. Mom always has one elusive antique star that I'm looking for. Do you remember the star I'm looking for?
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Mm-hmm. And what happened to it?
We don't know. We bought it at a garage sale.
I want to say 50 cents. It was a great find.
Well, it might have been a little bit, but we've never had it. I don't know if we left it there.
Literally like the day or two after we got home, we never could find it.
Yeah.
It was really sad. So someday we hope to find it, but we have found other stars since.
Do you want this one on or no?
Yeah, we can put that one on, yep. Another thing close by we don't have everything out yet, but in this room, another thing we always do is get out antique tree toppers. Mom also collects those. You know, I do too, and I haven't actually been putting mine out for a while. But they're down here in this tub, and you can see we kind of layer them in.
Oh, I got a new point thing to,
You don't need them, we have a lot, but we can use it. So antique tree toppers are these, which generally, they really work best on feather trees, which are the really tiny, you know, bristle type
So
small
tell them
trees.
what we do with them.
So we instead look for a way to stand them up so you can see them. And I'm sure you've seen this before. I don't know when we started doing this, probably 10, 15 years ago. Let me get a whole bunch of these out because I think underneath all of these is the stands we use for them. So if you go to antique shows, thrift shops, antique stores, what you're gonna find often are receipt picks. So back in the day, when they had, you know, big old national cash registers, they were the big, heavy, ornamented ones that stores had, they would have receipt picks on the counter. And this is where they would put all their receipts during the day.
And here's the newest one. I just got.
Oh, yeah.
It was a couple bucks.
Yeah. So we just kind of slowly, and some of you have even sent me some of these because you're so sweet. And a lot of them, it's kind of fun to look for different types of ones. They're heavy, but what's great about them is they have a long pick on them, as you can see. And so then you can take a tree topper and just stand it up on it. So it's a great way to display them. So usually we put these up here. And one of the things we do is if you have like decor that's out, so say like this doorstop dog, we'll put it in the tub over Christmas season. And then when you get it back out, you kind of know the same space that you were using and, you know, you can kind of put them back out. So we're gonna get out a few of these, which it's kind of always fun. I don't remember.
Well, that's the same one as that.
That's the same. I think these two I might use in the dining room sometimes. This is, you can find Shiny Brite branded tree toppers too. I think we have.
Do we want this one out?
They're like a really good Shiny Brite one in one of these. Yeah, I think, I don't know. We're gonna go through some of these. We're gonna see which ones we want out and which ones we kind of line up here.
Oh my, we have 3 silver ones. Oh
yeah, those all 3 match, don't they?
Do we want all 3?
Well, yeah, I think they're pretty. I don't know if we want all 3 out. We have out the tree toppers. You can see there's a decent amount of them, but they're kind of fun just lined up here. Now, Mom, we'll add other stuff. You know, this is more just like a quick, this isn't everything that maybe comes out, but you know, every year it kind of changes a little bit. Sometimes you put like little vintage boxes and stuff here, I think.
I have.
Like just kind of some cute
I don't
little,
even know what all I have. It's like we have
right.
to.
You just kind of have to pick and choose things. Now,
Some of my favorite things though are.
Yeah, we forgot these, didn't we?
Mom
loves her birds.
Well, my mother loved her birds, so I love my birds.
They are cute. They're little clip-on birds.
Very vintage.
Mostly the same kind of vernacular and style of the ornaments. So we always usually clip these on the edges. And they just kind of sit on the tree. Grandma only had a couple on her tree, didn't she? Or did she have a lot?
Well, she had different types, not just vintage birds. She had, you know, birds that we gave her over the years, cardinals.
Right, she loved cardinals.
Yeah, and she wanted to make them look like they were just sitting there resting in the tree. She was very, now wait a minute, we have 3 real close. No,
those are all spread out nicely.
I want these 3 though are too close.
Well, you put those on, I didn't.
I didn't, you put that one on.
Oh, this one? Oh, I can just move it up. But then there's none over in here. I'll put it over here.
Put it over there. And then where does this one needs to go? Maybe right over, there's nothing over here. I could use more birds.
We're on a bird hunt.
We're on a bird hunt.
I hope you enjoyed kind of just seeing some of this process. You know, I do live across the road pretty much from Mom, so we're back and forth a lot. I'm over here helping her, getting out some of the stuff. And, you know, it's one of those things you just have to enjoy it. If you let it stress you out, because I know some people really find this stressful or like, oh, I have to lug the tree out. Don't do things that stress you. You have to find the things that you enjoy and find the things. For us, we enjoy the process. We enjoy having it out. Obviously, that's why we have faux trees, so we can...
And I enjoy doing it together.
It is fun.
If I had to do it by
Although
myself,
you just told me a story that when we were little, we tried to do it together as a family of 4.
We tried to make it a family event, you know, the hot chocolate, everything. And my late husband, I tell you, we get the lights out. Half of them didn't work. And you know, at that time...
I would have been really... I don't remember it well. Probably.
Oh, you were maybe 3rd grade. So anyway, but we lay all these lights out, and so we're going through each light. Finally, he goes somewhere, tries to get the little batteries. Nightmare. Ended up getting all new lights. We never decorated the tree together again, my lady. Never.
That was one of those old trees. It was like a plastic tree almost.
And
you had to put it in branch by branch. And every branch layer, you would weave the lights up and back and up and back. And it had this interesting, it was a plastic tree, wasn't it?
My sister-in-law still has that tree.
But it was plastic, am I right?
Got it, in Cedar Rapids.
Like a department store?
Yeah, what was it called? Armstrong's. Thought I had the world by the tail with that tree.
Those plastic trees. The world. Actually, they'd be vintage now. They'd be really fun.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not a perfect picture, perfect thing every year, but we do enjoy the process. We enjoy getting things out and kind of just in having fun with it. So I hope this inspires you to maybe do the same. Maybe have your mom and go over to her house and help her. You know, I think we forget. I said this in my magazine that came out this year too, the holiday issue. When we're little, we don't think about the magic that is created for us that we feel. So our parents behind the scenes creating things. And as you grow up, you have to create that magic and that same feeling. So doing it sometimes with a parent or going and helping or doing things together, that's what brings on those moments. So I'm glad I can do it with you.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm glad we can do it then with all of you too. So hopefully you'll do the same. Check my website, wiseguy.com, if you want recipes and food we're gonna eat, or just keep checking back on my stories and I'll show you more of what we're doing around the houses to get ready. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.